If Kendrick performs Not Like Us, that will probably be the biggest bomb of all time. What's poppin', y'all? Welcome to X and the O's. I'm your host, Xavier Hunter, and make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe for more content here. I'm gonna get right to it. We're days away from Super Bowl 59, and honestly, I think the biggest question is not revolving around who's going to win between the Chiefs or the Philadelphia Eagles, but I think it's surrounding the halftime show with Kendrick Lamar. Is he going to do it? And by do it, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Is he going to perform Not Like Us, what has been the biggest song of 2024? It's not even up for debate at this point. Kendrick is coming off an epic Grammy night where he swept the board. He got five of them things. Literally one, two, three, four, five of them things, man. I mean, you think about it. Kendrick won already Best Rap Performance, Song of the Year, Record of the Year, Best Music Video, and Best Rap Song. I mean, it's undisputed at this point. But either way, I know I'm a big Kendrick Lamar fan, and as a Kendrick Lamar fan, I'm excited to see him perform on this big stage. We're already seeing him beforehand, a couple years back when the Super Bowl was in LA, with Snoop and Dre, Eminem and 50 and Mary and all of them. But I feel like right now, this is Kendrick's moment. You know what I mean? This is Kendrick's moment. This is one of those things to where if you've been a fan, for a long time, since the early days, from the Section 80, OD days, or, even from the Good Kid, Mad City days, or if you became a late bloomer, during the Damn era, or maybe just as recently now, I feel like this is where everything around Kendrick is like coming together now. Of course, the rap beef with Drake, that played, a great part into getting more viewers. Even just for people that don't listen to rap music, some people are referring to Not Like Us as the pedophile song, which is kind of crazy, but it's like now like Kendrick is forever being associated with like us. This is probably his biggest record. You can debate about it, but ultimately people really are interested in seeing this song right now. And it's a Super Bowl, of course at least 10, 15, 20 million people are going to watch this. So it's like, what do you do when the biggest song of your career so far is related to this? You know what I mean? So overall, though, I can't wait for the performance. We already got SZA already lined up as a guest. People have been wanting to see Doechii, come out as a surprise guest. I wouldn't be surprised if Doechii makes an appearance there. Shoot, I wouldn't even be surprised if like Baby Keem or some of the TDE members pop through, or maybe even Rihanna. I know she's handling a ASAP Rocky case right now, but just thinking of some of the big features that Kendrick has, could we see a Travis Scott, because of Goosebumps? You know what I mean? Like I feel like, you know, because Kendrick has not been saying anything at all, it just has us all wondering what is going to come out. Even when Tyler, posted the sticky video, some people were like trying to dive into the Easter eggs and be like, yo, like, is Tyler about to come out? Because even during the video, it shows similarities to where, the Army March on the field was similar to, when Tyler was rolling out his album a few months back, with the Army March and all of that. But it's going to be dope. It's going to be dope. It's going to be exciting. I'm just curious, what is going to be Kendrick's set list? You know what I mean? Like, what is the set list? So ideally, he got 15 minutes here, so he can't run through them all. He can't run them through them all. He's got 15 minutes to go through. I have about 10 to 15 songs that Kendrick could perform or would perform, but I know for sure Kendrick got to open up with DNA. Kendrick has to open up with DNA. You know what I mean? And you've been to some of his concerts, you've seen how he used that song as like an introduction to some things, or even it's not the opening song, how he uses that song to just grasp the crowd. You know what I mean? Like how it's just an explosion track. You know what I mean? Kendrick can open it up to where, the stadium goes dark and you're playing the opening skit. You know how it goes. You got the guy in the news, doing stuff, like, oh, and you hate Popo and all that stuff. And then all you hear is I got, and then you just see explosions everywhere. Kendrick's coming out on like some Michael Jackson shit. And that's how I feel like that's how he's gonna come out. I feel like if I was a betting man, I would put a bet on DNA being Kendrick Lamar's first song here, during the halftime show. Other tracks I got N95. Just in terms again, thinking about pace, thinking about hype, you trying to get the crowd excited. You know, that was a big track off of Mr. Brown and the Big Steppers. Shoot, N95 would be dope. Of course, we gotta do Mad City. Of course, we gotta do Mad City all the way through. Of course, Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. I feel like that would be a cool transition track. Even if he doesn't perform the song, I think just like the instrumental will be dope too. You know, doing the instrumental, he's like, "Yo, welcome everyone. My name's Kendrick Lamar." Like, I feel like that would, like even just having instrumentals, plays a role. And when I go through my list here, I'm gonna say, "Hey, this is instrumental. This might be this or that here." So either way, I think some type of recognition of these songs is just as big. You gotta remember, he has 15 minutes here. You know what I mean? So right after "Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe," he has to do all right. Kendrick Lamar has to do all right, you know what I mean? Because we already know the magnitude of that song. You know, of course, during the Black Lives Matter movement, and even just now, even in today's, social climate, even political climate, like we need that song all together, man. And I think even too that with the NFL recently saying that they're taking a firm stance on their DEI policies, they're not going to change anything. The conversation about DEI right now is heavy topic over the last few weeks. But even too, what the NFL is doing is they're taking out the end racism slogan out of the end zone. So while that might be something that might be viewed as small, it might be viewed as something big. Either way, I feel like what Kendrick Lamar does and stand for would be a great thing, to be honest. Having that song is all right, having this type of message out there. I mean, shoot, he kind of already did it before anyway, when he did the Super Bowl a couple years ago. So I wouldn't be surprised if he do it again. I have Poetic Justice on my list only because of this person, and that's Janet Jackson. We all know what happened to Janet, a couple decades ago when she was on stage with Justin Timberlake. I feel like doing that song with Janet Jackson will give her the quote unquote redemption that is like you're just, closing the book on that. And I feel like it will just bring Janet back to life again, in a way. Of course, we all, like I said, we all know what happened with, the Super Bowl halftime show when Janet performed and the backlash that came from that. But I feel like, nah, like, Janet Janet Jackson for a reason. And why not bring Janet Jackson to the ultimate stage here? Of course we got Loyalty with Rihanna. Whether Rihanna comes out or not, that's still a big track. That's still a dope track there. Goosebumps. Goosebumps is such an amazing track. Of course, with Travis Scott. That's why I mentioned could Travis come out, for that too. Just given the rock star status Travis has, he's big everywhere. He's big in WWE. He's just an enigma at this point. Squabble Up, coming off the new album GNX. Squabble Up is one of those anthems right now. Of course, you gotta do that. Of course, you gotta put on Squabble Up. That's one of those tracks to where it's like if Not Like Us never came out, Squabble Up definitely would have been like that type of magnitude, to be honest. And that's just my opinion on that. Continue off of GNX, you gotta do TV off, even if he does the back half, where again, when I say instrumentals, is there something to where you get the jazz band going on and then you just be like mustard, you know what I mean? That's a moment right there, and maybe that just might transition to something else, but you gotta do some type of acknowledgement with TV off. That's too big of a track there. And then continue off of with GNX, Luther. Luther is one of the ones. Luther is one of the ones, and with SZA being slated as a guest appearance there, why not? That's the perfect, duo track there. You gotta do duet there. You gotta do it old school how Luther was singing back then the day, man. Seeing Kendrick and SZA go back and forth on a song, that's a match made in heaven right there, man. Of course, too, they're going on tour together. This is already going to be a preview of the GNX tour coming out this year. Why not give us a little appetizer, and continue off with SZA, 30 for 30, off of Solana there. I feel like that'd be a good segue too. Kendrick and SZA always make great music together. Why not go for that? I kind of had all the stars from the Black Panther album, but to be honest, I think 30 for 30 might take the place there, just because how recent Solana dropped. And again, you're trying to promote the tour here all together. Now, I do have Family Ties on my list solely because of the instrumentals. Hearing those horns, hearing the instrumentals, like I feel like that would be dope too. Even if Baby Keem were to come out, that would be amazing. I remember going to the Big Steppers tour, a couple of years ago, and Family Ties was really probably the best performance out that whole night. Just like it was just insane. It was madness. It was mosh pits. It was just like it was out of mind, out of sight from both Keem's part to the middle part where before Kendrick comes out, and then even just Kendrick's part altogether. It was just like, so I can only imagine that type of thing on a Super Bowl level, or again, speaking of instrumentals, I have like that. Now, everyone was always talking about, hearing like that during football season, hearing like that from the HBCU bands. This is the moment right here to do that. Again, even if you don't even perform the song, you don't perform the diss, you don't perform any of that, doing just the instrumental, like the burr, 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 like crowd's gonna go crazy off of that. And I feel like with Not Like Us, it might either come down to just doing the instrumental and Kendrick doing a little dance where you have everybody, dancing, singing the song, whatever, whatever. But honestly, though, if Kendrick performs Not Like Us, that will probably be the biggest bomb of all time. That'll solidify Not Like Us possibly as the greatest rap song ever. We're ever gonna make a list about the best or most important, whatever it is. Not Like Us is already cemented as one of the biggest rap songs in history. But for Kendrick to have this run where he swept the Grammys, he's performing it at the halftime show, you have to say Not Like Us is the biggest song of all time, the biggest hip hop song of all time, the biggest rap song of all time, the greatest diss song of all time. I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. And I think even just outside of guest performances, I'm curious to see how much of that West Coast influence, how much of the West Coast he's going to bring with him. Is it going to be something like the pop out concert, when he's bringing, people from the hoods, all together. When he's uniting all the hoods all together, he's bringing everyone together. They're laughing, they're dancing, they're enjoying themselves. Or is he going to have something to where how he was on tour? You know, One of the big things in the Big Steppers tour was having those backup dancers. The choreography was insane. I mean, just like Kendrick knows how to put on a show. And if you've been to any of his shows, you would know Kendrick Lamar really is a showman. And I feel like if you never had the chance to see Kendrick Lamar perform live outside of like the award shows, this here would be your chance to really see, the artistic vision of Kendrick Lamar and how truly great he is and how not only great of a rapper he is, but ultimately how he's one of the biggest and most important artists of all time when it's all said and done. Either way, though, I'm excited to see this halftime show. I'm excited for the Super Bowl altogether. I think it's going to be a really close game here. But let me know in the comments who y'all have winning the Super Bowl. Is it going to be the Chiefs? Is it going to be the Eagles? And let me know what y'all predictions for Kendrick's halftime performance, though. But make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and make sure y'all tune into the next video.